Good morning, viewers. So, the chapter is Definition, Unit 2, Indirect Tax 1. We'll cover some more terms of this chapter definition. Here, the terms we are going to discuss is on about the job work, reverse charge, and the invoice. The learning objective is to understand the meaning and to know the concept, to find the GST liability, and outcome is it will able to understand the term clearly about the job work, reverse charge, and invoice. And it also helps the students to understand the important terms, these terms for the application under the GST liability. Earlier sessions in earlier classes, I gave explanation about what is input tax credit, and IST, that is input service distributor, what is drawback, and also about the electronic credit ledger. You can go through those videos. And now is about the job work. So what is job work? Here a separate definition is given under the CGST Act 2017 about job work under section 2 subsection 68. As per this section, job work means any treatment or process undertaken by a person on goods belonging to the another registered person, and the expression job work shall be constituted accordingly to that term. I told it means the any treatment or process. Here we are going to do any treatments or any activity as per the directions of the another registered person or to whom those goods and services belongs to the particular person. Here it's also explained as an activity. It is treated as one of the activity of sending the goods for the job worker by the supplier and receiving the same back when they have been given a tax pass through in GST. This means that sending goods for job worker and getting them back after the job work will have no tax implications or after the completion of that particular job work. And next is the term reverse charge. It is given under section 2 subsection 98. Reverse charge means the liability to pay tax by the recipient of supplier of goods or services or both instead of the supplier. Here reverse, there are two mechanisms. One is reverse charge and another is the forward charge. Forward charge means here the tax liability, GST liability lies in the hands of the supplier. Here the supplier becomes responsible to pay the GST liability or to remit the GST to the government. But under reverse charge, the liability to pay tax is on the recipient, and here the recipient has to pay the GST for any supply of goods or services instead of the supplier. And here it is given under subsection 3 or subsection 4 of the section 9, or under subsection 3 or subsection 4 of section 5 of the IGST, that is Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. Next is invoice. Here under GST, a tax invoice is an important document. It is an important document. It is not only evidence for the supply of goods or services, but it is also one of the essential document for the recipient to claim the input tax credit, that is ITC, whenever the supply of goods and services takes place under the by the recipient. A registered person, he cannot avail input tax credit unless if he is in possess of a tax invoice or a debit note. GST is chargeable at the time of supply. Invoice is an important indicator for the time of supply. Actually, the time of supply of goods or services means it is the date of the issue of invoice or the receipt of payment, whichever is the earlier. Means it is the date of issue of invoice or the receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. However, a special procedure for the payment of tax has been prescribed for the registered person supplying goods. Such a category of persons means here the suppliers of goods other than the composition dealers, we call it as category, such special category persons. They need to pay GST only at the time of issue of invoice, irrespective of when they receive payment. So for the special category of persons, they need to pay GST only at the time of the issue of the invoice rather than the receipt of the payment. So the importance of the invoice under GST cannot be overemphasized, and the tax invoice is one of the primary document. It is one of the evidence for the supply, and it is one of the document for the receipt of goods by the recipient. We'll see what are the contents of the invoice. Actually, there is no any format prescribed for an invoice, but however, invoice rules makes it mandatory for an invoice to have following fields. These fields has to be mentioned in the invoice bill. Then first is you have to mention the name, address, and the GSTN of the number of the supplier, and secondly a serial numbers in one or multiple series, maybe containing alphabets or numericals or special characters, hyphen or dash or slash symbolized as, and any combinations thereof unique for a financial year. And next, date of its issue is to be mentioned. Next, name, address, and GSTN or UIN of the any if registered of the recipient. Next, to mention name and address of the recipient and the address of delivery, means the place of the delivery for whom the goods are delivered, or the recipient's address, that is the address of delivery, along with the name of state and its code if such recipient is unregistered, and where the supply of value of taxable supply is 50,000 or more. Next, I had to mention HSN code of goods or accounting code of the services, and also had to mention description of goods or services, actual the description of the goods or services that is supplied by the supplier to the recipient, and quantity, what is the quantity of the goods, and in units or unique quantity code thereof if it is there. Next, total value of the goods or services. So total, what is the total value of the supply of goods or services, or both if it is supplied. And next, again you have to mention taxable value. What is the value that is taxed for the supply of goods or services, or both, taking into account of the discount and also of any rebate or any abatement given. And need to mention about the rate of tax. What is the rate of tax? That is central, state, IGST, union territory tax, or cess, anything, whatever tax is levied. And also amount of tax is charged in respect of the taxable goods or services. And again we have to mention about the place of supply along with the name of the state in case of a supply in course of interstate trade or the commerce. If any interstate trade or commerce or any transaction takes place, there's a need to mention the place of supply along with the name of the state. And next, address of delivery, where the same is different from the place of supply. Whether the tax is payable on reverse charge basis or not, that also to be mentioned. And finally, the signature or digital signature of the supplier or his authorized representatives. So these are the contents that is to be put in the invoice. So this is about the definitions of the terms like invoice and then reverse charge and job work. Thank you very much.